So why the demand for you to return? Perhaps, she seriously thought about it. Other than punishment for attacking his Luna, only one other thing stood out to her. The pack had paid for her degree, she was supposed to return and work in the pack's legal department, be an efficient member of their society, which she had not done. At his order. I guess I owe them law school fees. The Browning Corporation paid my tuition, and I was supposed to work for them right out of university, but seeing as I was tossed away 2 years into the degree and told never to go back, I never did. And they still paid your tuition? He asked, sounding confused. Yes, the CEO at the time was Blaine Browning, I guess he did. His son Nathan is now the CEO and he was the one who tossed me out. Perhaps Blaine thought I would return or something. Eric nodded. Do you have the ability to pay it back? J-Law sighed. Not all of it, but about half I guess. If it was just a case of we want our money back, she could give them half and then organize a plan. She could draw up the contract herself and make sure it was to her benefit and add an ironclad clause that he leave her alone forever afterwards. Even put in a clause that the minute the debt was paid she would find another pack to take her in, solving the issue of attachment to them as well. The real question was, could she do all of this without involving her pups, or having him find out about them? He wouldn't think they were his, or at least she doubted it, not unless he laid eyes on them, and could she find a pack that wouldn't use them as leverage if they found out whose pups they actually were? To many what-ifs at this point. I could write you a contract and give you the rest. You can pay it back later, J-Law. Would that be an option for you? J-Law smiled at him. She knew why he was offering. The last case she had worked on and one had just brought the company a whopping $1 million of profit. The other end had been so happy he had even referred his sister for her to clarify terms and conditions before she was to get married next year. J-Law was currently gold to this firm, she was bringing in the dollars. She was professional, methodical, and always read the fine print. She never laxed in her duties and she knew how to play hardball. What she couldn't win she would take to mediation and work out compromises that suited everyone, regardless of how long that took. She never gave up. A dog with a bone she'd once been described as, they had no idea how true it was. No, it's fine Eric, once the settlement from my last case is in and you pay me, I'll have the rest of it. He nodded, seemingly pleased. I'll get that to you ASAP then. I'd appreciate that, J-Law said in all honesty, and watched him leave her office finally. She sagged into her leather chair behind her desk, thankful for the plushness, glad she had shelled out a big sum for it. She put her head down on the desk and muttered, 3 days she could run. 3 days was plenty of time to sever the connection on her end from her pack and run away. The minute we do, he will know we're running. Cora piped up. It'll anger him even more. I know that, Cora, but there is a chance he just won't care, right? What else can we do? Cora huffed. She too, it seemed, needed time to think it through. Surely between the two of them they could come up with a plan. Or they had 3 days to come up with the courage to make a phone call that she never wanted to make, to hear his voice, so filled with anger and hatred for the woman who dared cause harm to his mate and now Luna. There would be no softness, no playfulness, no teasing undertones of the past, where he'd once teased and hypnotized her with his soft thick voice during the nights they shared together, nights she longed to forget, but somehow still haunted her dreams, nights that were burnt into her very soul, so much so that she and Cora were still plagued with dreams of him on occasion, usually with the full moon. Though she and Cora had learned to let go of him, they would both forever be bound to him by the pups they shared. Pups he had no knowledge of, pups she wanted to keep hidden, they were all she and Cora had left of their old life. Tim was no match compared to her Alpha, but how could he be? He was human after all. She sighed and closed her eyes. 3 days.